Everyone is buzzing about an unearthed video that revealed everything in a single, quiet moment captured on camera. Jenna Ortega enthusiastically approaches Rachel Zegler, but Rachel ignores her entirely and looks away. It all boils down to one crucial difference in how they approach their roles. Jenna rode a wave of success to the top. Rachel's career is now hanging by a thread, and Jenna is left standing there with an awkward smile on her face, looking completely helpless. That one moment has become the ideal symbol of these two rising stars' very different Hollywood journeys. The video that everyone is talking about depicts Jenna trying to connect with her peer Rachel in an enthusiastic and engaging manner, but instead of returning the favor, Rachel icily turns away, leaving Jenna standing there grinning artificially. Their brief exchange reveals a lot about their divergent personalities and may help to explain why their careers have taken such different turns.
People think I'm doing poorly, and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all.
This is where it gets interesting, though, because the awkward moment wasn't just about two celebrities interacting awkwardly. Rather, it symbolizes a conflict between honoring classic characters and totally reimagining them for contemporary audiences that is currently taking place behind the scenes in Hollywood. The growing divide in how young stars approach iconic roles is aptly symbolized by this silent exchange that was caught on camera. On the one hand, there is the idea of paying tribute to the things that initially made these characters so beloved while still adding something new, and on the other, there is the strategy of totally reimagining characters regardless of their established legacy, sometimes ignoring the very things that made them appeal to audiences for generations.
You know what I would say about that specifically as well? I love that there's a lot more female leads nowadays. I think that's so special, but we should have our own. I don't like it when it's like a spin-off. Like, I don't want to see like Jamie Bond, I want to see just like another badass. So yeah, something like that. Definitely leave it.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no Prince or a different kind of Prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie, right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. It's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows?
I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
The core bond between actors and their supporters is at the heart of this conflict, which goes beyond simple creative disagreements. As we'll see, this brief moment of rejection between two of Hollywood's rising stars wasn't just an isolated incident. Rather, it was the ideal visual metaphor for the two different paths their careers would take. Let's go back a little. Do you acknowledge the emotional connection viewers have with these characters? Or do you tell audiences that their nostalgia is out of date and needs to be corrected? According to insiders, Jennifer Ortega wasn't always the well-known figure she is today. In fact, she had been working consistently in the business for years prior to getting her big break as Wednesday Addams. Unlike some celebrities who are given big breaks right out of the gate, Jenna worked hard to build her resume and perfect her craft, and when she eventually got the chance to play Wednesday Addams, she didn't just show up for the paycheck. Jenna studied the comic book adaptation in great detail and approached the role with real reverence for the original character. She introduced something new to Wednesday while still paying homage to the character's original significance, and her hard work paid off handsomely. Wednesday smashed Netflix's watching records and became a worldwide sensation.
I feel like unrelatable, or I feel like sometimes I have to speak differently or carry myself differently in order to assimilate myself.
Rachel Zegler, on the other hand, shot to fame after landing the coveted role of Snow White in Disney's live-action remake after being cast as Maria in Spielberg's West Side Story. It seemed like the beginning of a bright career, but things quickly took a turn for the worse, and when Snow White started production, everyone in the industry was shocked by what happened next. In interviews, Rachel began to make remarks that alarmed Disney executives. She publicly attacked the 1937 animated classic, calling it strange and ignoring important aspects of the well-loved tale. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so, Rachel said in one particularly contentious interview. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
So, when I tell you that it's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain.
She continued by saying that her version of Snow White would not be dreaming of true love, but would instead concentrate on being a leader. While this may seem progressive on paper, it totally ignores the reason why Snow White has resonated with audiences for millennia. Even more startling was Rachel's admission that she was afraid of the original cartoon, saying she only watched it once and never watched it again. For many fans, this felt like a slap in the face because an actress was playing a legendary character while apparently disdaining the original material. Jenna Ortega, on the other hand, was modernizing Wednesday Addams while frequently expressing her admiration for the original and her wish to preserve what made Wednesday unique. One actress rejected the legacy she was creating, while another celebrated.
I mean, talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Not only are you being casted in a classic film to remake it, but you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
But behind closed doors, there's more to this story than most people realize. According to reports, both actresses were contacted about a Disney animation project that was kept under wraps and called Blue Wave. Industry insiders claim that this ambitious movie was intended to be Disney's response to Shrek, uniting different fairy tale characters in a single universe. However, the project took a controversial approach, heavily emphasizing gender-swapping traditional characters and advancing what some saw as an ideological agenda rather than concentrating on storytelling. When Jenna Ortega found out about the direction, she reportedly expressed serious concerns in a rare moment of Hollywood candor. Jenna has voiced her opposition to the practice of gender-swapping well-known characters rather than developing fresh, powerful female characters. We should have our own Jenna, who stated in an interview, "I don't like it when it's a spin-off. I don't want to see like James Bond as a woman. I want to see just another badass." I believe it's great that there are so many more female protagonists these days. Tension between the two emerging stars is said to have arisen because of Jenna's purported departure from Blue Wave due to her principled stance, choosing integrity above what would have been a sizable payout, while Rachel was apparently completely on board with the project's path.
To everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
The disparity between their strategies became even more apparent when Snow White's production issues increased in response to Rachel's divisive remarks and mounting criticism. Disney was under growing pressure, and despite the significant investment, the movie's budget reportedly skyrocketed to over $200 million, making it one of the priciest fairy tale adaptations ever produced. According to insider reports, the studio was extremely worried about the movie's chances, and those worries were validated when Snow White finally came out. Despite IMAX theaters and a significant marketing campaign, the movie failed to connect with viewers. Critics criticized it as soulless, and fans turned away in droves. The second weekend's box office receipts fell by more than 50%, which was disastrous for a movie with such a large budget, but Jenna Ortega's star continued to rise while Rachel dealt with the fallout. While not shattering box office records, Jenna was taking chances with films like Paul Rudd's R-rated horror comedy Death of a Unicorn. These decisions helped Jenna establish a reputation as a serious actor with a wide range. But after Snow White's lackluster performance, here is where Rachel's problems really started. According to reports, Rachel started having trouble finding new jobs. According to industry insiders, studios were reluctant to cast her because they were concerned that her divisive remarks would turn off viewers, which many perceived as a last-ditch effort. Fans swiftly ridiculed Rachel's public campaign for a role in the Star Wars universe, viewing it as a transparent and somewhat desperate attempt to land a role in a major franchise. Rachel used the strange justification that her initials, RZ, matched a RZ-1A wing starfighter from Star Wars lore. As a comic book fan, I would like to put myself forward to voice Shara Bay, mother of Padamarant, because her ship was a RZ1 my initials she posted. The final blow came when Rachel was reportedly fired from Paddington 3, with the official explanation being scheduling conflicts resulting from the actors' strike. Industry insiders pointed out that many other SAG actors remained attached to the project, and the timing immediately following the Snow White controversy suggested there might be more to the story. Serious actors usually don't campaign for roles by pointing out coincidental initial matches. Instead, they let their work speak for itself. After sharing Free Palestine on social media during a particularly critical time in Middle Eastern affairs, Rachel's political remarks made things much more difficult. While performers undoubtedly have the right to voice their political opinions, Rachel received both a lot of support and a lot of criticism. In sharp contrast, the timing and style of her remarks added to the controversy surrounding an already troubled career. Jenna Ortega has critically discussed the relationship between politics and Hollywood, pointing out that the industry's emphasis on political correctness can occasionally result in a loss of integrity and humanity because it lacks honesty. Jenna has been able to sidestep the divisive reception that has beset Rachel thanks to this controlled approach. When Jenna was reportedly offered a role in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean revival, she turned it down, which is another instance of her choosing roles based on artistic merit rather than just large salaries or franchise potential. Meanwhile, Rachel finds it difficult to land new projects and copes with the fallout from Snow White. The industry has noticed their divergent career paths. Jenna remains one of Hollywood's most sought-after young actresses. What does this all imply in a field that is sometimes accused for prioritizing style over substance? Her ethical beliefs and careful approach to her work have brought her both financial success and respect in the industry. Jenna Ortega's ascent is a welcome development. An actress who values the roles she plays and the admirers who adore them knows that updating classic characters doesn't mean erasing what made them unique in the first place. The video of Rachel ignoring Jenna now has an almost symbolic meaning. It symbolizes the two options available to young stars in Hollywood today: respecting legacy while bringing something new, or dismissing the past in favor of reinvention at all costs. Rachel Zegler's story serves as a warning about the dangers of dismissing beloved source material and alienating the very fans you're trying to entertain. She struggles to land roles after Snow White suggests that studios are paying attention to how actors discuss the properties they're part of. While Rachel is still recovering from the Snow White scandal, Jenna ended Rachel's career without saying a word by choosing integrity over ideology, respect over reinvention, and honesty over agenda. What do you think about this Hollywood drama? Do you support Jenna's approach to honoring original characters, or do you believe Rachel had the right idea about modernizing classics? Jenna's career is still thriving, which may be the most powerful statement of all. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you liked this in-depth look, don't forget to click the subscribe button and enable notifications so you don't miss our most recent industry analysis and celebrity insights.